Hello, beautiful warriors. I'm Kuchira, and this is the Yogance Unconventional Balance. As a dancer, I play with balance all the time, but as just a simple, normal human being, we all know balance is important. Now, what is balance and why is it so important? Balance is the center of mass over a base point, a central point, a support point. Imagine not understanding balance in your body, proprioception. Simple things just as walking or sitting or running or standing can be really difficult. I mean, look at a baby trying to learn its balance in its body. They're just flopping all over the place. We would all look like a drunk mess. So clearly balance is super, super important. Now, to refine balance is a whole other level. I find that when I refine balance in my body, I find that same balance in my life, or at least I'm aware of the balance that I need. And that's already on the step up and up. So as always, what we practice on our mat is what we bring into our life, and balance is a big one. Now we know that balance is key to functional movement and functional living. So that's what we're gonna practice here today in the Unconventional Balance Yogance. Now why unconventional? Well, we play with conventional balance all day long in our life. We're always working on our balance, consciously or unconsciously. But I like to step up the game. And so moving through postures and positions that are more unconventional, that require your 100% awareness, is to me what the practice is all about, heightening the awareness. So in this Yogance, we're gonna find some really cool and sometimes difficult transitions. Not to worry, I'll give you tons of modifications as I always do, but most of all, keep it light, keep it fun. This is all experimental with your body. It's about getting to know yourself better in body, in mind, and then spiritually growing through the practice. Always remember to do this in awareness, put the ego aside, and practice the Yogance at your level. Now I'll give you modifications as I said, but you are your best and really only teacher. You're the only one that knows what you truly feel inside and where your intentions lie. So stay true to that, stay true to you, listen to your body talk, and we're gonna have a beautiful practice. Let's go. Let's begin the Unconventional Balance Yogance. If you have a hard time with this, that's the whole point. We're practicing. So if you're falling all over the place, it's totally cool. Just every time see what new thing you can pick up to make it just a little bit better. And eventually with practice and practice and practice, you'll get a hang of this. I teach this in parts and add-ons. So we'll learn part 1 and then we'll review it. Part 2, add on part 1 and 2, review that. Part 3, review 1, 2, and 3, add on like that until we learn the whole Yogance. Keep a positive attitude, keep trying, don't give up, and we'll do this together. We're gonna start at the top of our mats with the feet hip distance apart. This will be the right side. We always do right side first, left side second. So we're gonna jump to the right, and as we do that, we're gonna hit our hand on our hip and let the hand flow upwards. We're gonna jump to the left, hit the hand on the hip, let it flow upwards, jump to the middle, reach up high, do a little wave, and then fold. Let me show that to you frontal view so you can kind of see what's happening here. Jump to the right, hit, flow. So you're gonna get this little wave. It's a side wave that starts from the side hip, bend through the knee, and then travels upwards all the way to the tip of the hand. So you find some flow in the side body. So we just hit to the right, jump, hit to the left, jump to center of the mat, wave up. What is that wave up? Bend through the knees, travel it up through the hips, push the hips forward, belly, chest, head, and then use that front wave to fold forward. Really important, we want to use the breath here. That's the whole point of this movement. Immediately getting into the breath and that flowy kind of vibe. And again, it can flow through your body however feels right. That's how it flows in mine. And every time I do it, you'll notice it'll probably be a little different. We want that. We want to keep that loose flow happening and go with the changes that happen. Remember, what I'm teaching here is simply an outline for you to color in. So top of the mat, let's just take a breath. Nice and relaxed. We jump to the right, hit, wave, jump to the left, hit, wave, jump to center, big wave upwards, and then use the root to rise to extend through the spine as you fold over. You can fold over with the flat back, you can roll down through the top of the head, you can bend through the knees a little bit if you have sensitive knees. Really, this is your way. So once we find the fold over, We're gonna take our fingertips on the floor and we're gonna push away from the floor, concave the spine, and find this bridge shape. So we're actually pushing our fingertips in the floor, pushing out of the shoulder girdle and lifting through the pubis. Shh. Big exhale. This is a very different shape than a flat back or a fold. It's a very active push. It's the same push you would ideally do in a handstand. And in fact, if you have a handstand practice, you can totally put it right here. If you have a forearm handstand practice, you can put it right here. So to give you an idea, and if you have a wall behind you, even better to practice this. It's the push. If you're going through the handstand, go ahead and do the handstand. If you want to do the forearm, you can put it here. And if not, it's just a beautiful push. Either way, you're just going to kind of rock through this push a couple times. And then for now, just roll upwards. Let's do that again. To left side, which means we start to left. I'll show you frontal view. Jump left. And if you want to make this jump a little bit more active, jump higher. Try to push off your toes and point your toes in the middle. So activate it a little bit more. Yes, it's a very vibrant beginning. Folding forward. Exhale as you fold. Go ahead and do a couple pushes. And then roll all the way up. Now, if you haven't yet been able to touch the floor here, you can use blocks or books to help you push up a little bit higher. You can simply put your hands on the upper or the lower thigh and do this push. The feeling is exactly the same. Or you can just bend your knees so that you can actually get down to the floor. Where there's a will, there's a way. Back to the right side from the push. So once you kind of investigate the push a little bit, we're on the right side, so we're going to take the right foot, the right toes, and tap them to the back of the right wrist. The idea is to see how high you can get the leg up on the back of the wrist. And that is all determined by the push. Right? So if I don't push, it's going to sink. If I push less, it's going to go. And again, if you want to play with this a little bit more leading up to the handstand, go ahead and try to lift up the other foot at the same time. And see if you can find a push that way. Again, that's the more advanced version of the push. If you're not there yet, this is perfectly fine. Relax through the neck. Don't crunch the neck. And anywhere that you feel a lot of tension or pressure in the body, it's a good sign your body's giving you to put your awareness there and breathe into it and relax it. Once we find the push and touch, we're going to carry the right leg back. Make sure that the feet are staggered for more balance. Go ahead and bend the front knee if you need to. And we're just going to rock back and forth through this pyramid stretch. Go ahead and do it as you please. Breathing and flowing through it. I like to play with coming up high in the toes or bending through the knees. From here, you're going to bend through the front knee, the left knee, roll the shoulders down the back, lift the pubis upwards, so lift your belly upwards, and then you're going to pick up the back leg, the right leg, horizontal to the floor. Make sure that the hips are square for now. They'll open up if they need to, but just start in this clean position. Point through the back toes, relax the neck. We're going to take a warrior 3 fly. That's what I call it. If that's too hard, just keep your hands down. But it's this feeling of extending through this T shape. The bottom knee can stay a little bit bent if there's too much pressure there. And you just fly a couple times. From there, the right toes are going to touch the back of the left heel. You're going to find that push again as the right leg goes all the way up into a standing split or needle. Again, if you're practicing a handstand, this is another place to find a little push. Beautiful. And then that top leg, the right leg, touches the back of the right wrist again as you find yet another push. Have you noticed this is all about a push? The right leg steps through the hands. The back leg, the left leg steps back nice and wide. Hips square off. Settle the knee down and go ahead and play through your low lunge. That's right, there's a lot of pushing here in this first bit because this pushing activates your entire body, gets your pubis and breath working, which is going to be huge for all the unconventional balance transitions we're going to do later in this Yogance. Moving on, we extend through the front leg. Again, flowing and moving through this. Remember, this is Yogance, so we invite in these movements. There's no right or wrong when it comes to this, whatever feels good in your body. We find the half splits where the right leg, the front leg, is extended long. Now, from here, you can either be on your fingertips, high up on some blocks, wherever you feel comfortable. First option here, which is the hardest one actually, the right leg is going to try to lift all the way up to your nose and then come through. So again, our final push, pushing out of the shoulders, activating through the lower belly, relaxing the neck, trying to meet the knee to the nose, and then traveling it all the way through to the back. Now that is tough. So if you're not there yet, here are some options for you. Go ahead and take the right hand on the inside of the front leg, lift it a little bit, carry it back. Now you're going to have to shift the weight with the right hand moving to the right a little bit when the leg carries back so that you're back into your balance point, right? If that's too tough, again, bring the right hand inside of the right leg and just go ahead and do a nice semicircle with the leg. Again, carrying the right hand back to the right, bringing your body into this equilibrium position. You're going to end up on this all fours position with the right leg extended back. From here, you're going to tuck the right toes under. You're going to find a plank, the top of a push-up, again, pushing out of the shoulder girdle, something we've been working on this whole time. Bring the weight forward into the fingertips and then take your vinyasa. Up dog, rolling the shoulders back. Make sure you don't dip through the lower back, but the push still exists. Lifting up through the pubis, pushing out of the shoulder girdles, lifting the ribs up towards the spine, and then finding a down dog position. And this will be the end of the first section. Let's talk about down dog a little bit here since we have a chance. My feet are hip distance apart. My hands are shoulder width apart. Fingers are spread wide. Thumbs are facing each other. Rolling the armpits inward, so we don't want to bend the elbows, but they want to stay straight and pulling, rolling inwards. We pull the pubis upwards, we relax the neck and look through the legs, and then push away from the floor, so it's very, very active. For now, go ahead, bend through the knees, walk or jump to your hands. Do what you need to do here before you roll all the way up. Let's investigate this first part on the left side, nice and slow, as we review all the tips, because the tips, they're really important. It's really what it's all about. It's the detail of the work. It's not just getting through it. So feet hip distance apart, take a couple breaths. Feel yourself centered in the body, the supported points, the feet rooted into the ground, the tailbone rooted down, the pubis lifting up, the shoulders rolling back. Nice big wide breath. Big tip here, the breath. If you forget about it or become short or anxious, it means you're pushing too hard, which means you need to find a bit of an easier modification. You need to modify, and then slowly you progress. So left side, we jump to the left, hip wave, we jump to the right, hip wave, we jump to center, maybe hip wave, and then find your fold. Go ahead and push and rock through the fold. Finding that bridge shape. When the left leg is ready, the left toes tap on the back of the left wrist. Find a bigger bridge. Maybe you even try to float a little bit. Try it a couple times. Woo! Left leg steps back into a right pyramid. We rock back and forth a bit. And when we're ready, that back leg comes up into a warrior 3 position. Parallel to the floor. Bending through the right knee, squaring off the hips, which means my right hip comes back, pointing through the back toes, nice and strong. Neck is long. I fly through my warrior 3. If you lose your balance, perfectly normal and okay. Just try again. See if you can fix the mistake that you made the first time through. Good. The back toes tap the back
of the front heel. Maybe you want to bend through it a little bit. Take a little moment before the left leg rises up to standing splits. Good. From there, remember, you can try to press into a handstand, or again, just feel that little moment of floating. Top toes tap the back of the left wrist against. Find that bridge and that push. Step the left leg through the hands. Step the right leg back. First, find a lunge. Square off the hips. Relax the neck. Drop the right knee down to the floor. Go ahead and play an Unconventional. Keep the breath steady and full and present. Let's just take a moment here in our first lunge. And by the way, you should have come into this practice warmed up. There is a warm-up class on patreon.com/movement-classes, a new one every month that you can refer to if you need a little guidance in your warm-up. Extend through the front leg. Left leg is long. Left hip is back. Pubis is lifted. Shoulders are down. I take a moment here to flow. When we're ready, we're going to carry the front leg back. Your version of, remember, it can either go through or it can go all the way around. Either way, we end up here. Settling the left toes onto the floor, lifting up through the pubis. You can see my lower back is not arched at all. Pushing out of the shoulder girdle, and then finding our vinyasa, push-up, up dog, down dog. Easier version of this would be to go ahead and settle the knees down. Come forward till your shoulders are right above your wrist. Go ahead and tap your chin. Maybe then lower all the way down. Put the forearms on the floor in an 11 shape. Space pose, just lift the chest. And then go ahead and push back first into all fours, maybe a child's pose. And then we all find ourselves in a down dog. Review this shape with all the notes we gave the first time around. Take a breath. You can always let some sound out if it feels good. Inhale, bend through the knees, jump or walk to your hands. And then go ahead and take whatever you need to do before you rise all the way up.
And find yourself in a standing posture once again. Let's do this on the right side, a little bit more fluid with less notes so that we can start putting this into the body memory. Here we go. Just take 2 breaths at the top of your mat. Jump to the right. Hit wave. Jump to the left. Hit wave. Jump to center. Hit wave. Fold. Push and tap with the right foot. Take it back into the pyramid. Lift the right leg up into a warrior 3. Elongate the neck. Fly in the warrior 3. Standing splits with the right leg up to the sky. Tap and push once again with the right leg. Step the right leg between the hands. Step the left leg back. Find an Unconventional. And then play through a half split. When you're ready, travel the front leg all the way back. And then take your version of a vinyasa, which could even be, once again, an unconventional, untraditional one that you just wave and pass through. It doesn't really matter. I just want us all to find ourselves together in a down dog as we exhale. Walking and jumping to the front of the mat. And then rising all the way up. Taking 3 breaths to find the left side together as we flow through it a little bit faster, a little bit smoother. One more breath to prep. Nice and slow. Here we go to left, jump. Right, center. We fold, find the bridge and tap with the left leg. Step it back, pyramid. Warrior 3, fly. Standing splits, left leg up. Tap and bridge once again.
Step it between the hands, step the right leg back, Anjaneyasana, half split flow. Travel the front leg back right into your vinyasa flow version. Take a breath in the down dog. Walk or jump to the front of the mat. And then roll all the way up. Beautiful. At this moment, go ahead and pause the video. Practice this on your own. Get it into your body memory, and then we'll come back and learn part 2. Second part, so we're adding this on. We ended up on the right side in our down dog. Let's just take a breath there, organize ourselves. Good. Now we're gonna jump or walk to the left. I'll show you the advanced version first. We're gonna jump to the left of our hands. Again, there's that push that we were working on in the whole first part of this Yogance. And then we're gonna push and jump until our feet land on the right side, on the right of our right hand. So all the way to the right, that's the whole point. At this point, I'm gonna sit down. I'll show you in this direction. I'm gonna sit down, and you'll notice I'm in a bit of a twist here. This is my right elbow pushing into my left knee. And then I'm gonna keep the twist as I sit on my booty to the right, and then open up into this twisted butterfly shape. If we look at this from a front perspective, I jump to my left, I jump to my right, I squat, I'm twisted, I lift my chest a little bit, and then I lower my right butt cheek down, open up my knees into a butterfly shape, and keep the twist. A more beginner version, I'm gonna walk as I push right out of my hands to my left side. I'm gonna walk and push that same bridge shape into my right. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer my weight onto my feet, maybe bring my hands forward, sit down, maybe high up on the toes, and then use my hands to lower myself down onto my booty as I get into this butterfly shape. Here's what that would look like from the frontal point of view. I walk and push as I lift through my pubis to my left, walk to my right, go ahead and shift the weight over until I'm at the central balance point, rise up on the toes, squat all the way down, and then use my hands to lower myself down onto my right butt cheek as I hit the butterfly position. Now, what do I mean when I say push? It's the same feeling that we had in the first part, but let me make this very clear. Here is me not pushing, okay? So you'll notice I don't get any of this action or this action. It's just very much sinking into the floor, so I have nowhere to go. In order to float, we need to create space, and the space is created by pulling up the pubis and pushing out of the shoulder girdles and pushing the hand into the floor simultaneously. This all happens in one shot. The breath assists in the movement. So you'll notice the difference when I do push, I get this beautiful float. I can even hold it there for a bit and come down. The float actually happens still here, and this is a lot to do with balance points. You can see I can find my balance point when I push because it gives me the space to float. That's why we're working on this so much. But it also happens as I lower myself down. I can lower myself nicely, find my balance point, versus if I don't do the push, even through my pubis, I just plop and it kind of goes all over the place. That's why this push is so important to finding that unconventional balance point, because it's when you go and activate everything that even when you're off balance, you can get yourself back on balance by motivating the body to push and become aware of the center of the body. So we find ourselves in the butterfly position. From here, if you're in the twist, you're gonna unrock yourself towards your right. We're twisting towards the left. If you're not in the twist, you're still gonna rock towards your right side. The left leg is gonna kind of swoop through, and you're just gonna play with this sweeping pattern. You can even, if you want to advance it a little bit, come up high, lift the hips, get a little bit of a bridge going there. Do it however you please. So do that as many times as you need. Boom. And after this pattern is done, you're gonna keep rotating until you're on your hands and knees, but floating 1 inch off the floor.
Boom, boom. Notice that the left leg actually steps out. It needs to step out. And I put all the weight on the right foot so that my left leg can actually carry. Same with the hands. It actually mimics the feet. Boom. So I actually end up in this shape. It's hands and knees, 1 inch off the floor. Again, I'm finding that push. If that's too difficult, it's okay. Just keep everything on the floor. Hands and knees on the floor. So you'll end up here. But the idea is the same. You're still lifting through the lower belly, still activating. From here, we continue the movement into a tabletop. The right hand carries around. The right leg steps out. And then the right leg comes all the way up. Keep the booty up. Sit the booty down. Left leg tucks under. Right leg is over. And we find our seated twist to the right. Let's look at this from a different direction. Swing the left leg. Swing it back. Take your final twist. Now take the momentum to the right to find the all fours floating. Keep going. As the right hand and the right foot pick up, you find yourself in a tabletop. Keep those hips up. You might have to transfer the weight onto the left leg, bring it to the center of the body to find this unconventional balance point. Lift the right leg up. Sit the booty down. Tuck the left leg under, right leg over. Sit up high on the sit bones. And then find your twist to the right. This is actually a lot simpler than it looks and it feels when you break down because you're not using the momentum of the spin. But in the Yogance, you will be using the momentum and it'll make it a whole lot easier. Remember, if you need to modify this, go ahead and just set your booty down, but keep the lift through the lower belly and the push out of the shoulders because that's what's going to help you find the balance point. You're always going to have to be adjusting your feet a little bit to find your balance as things continue to move. You'll notice that you won't just be able to keep your feet where they are, and that's the fun of all of this. And the trick to the balance is that you're always having to adjust. There is no perfectly right point. As you move, you have to move along with it. That's what makes this unconventional balance so interesting. All right, so left side, let's find our down dog. So we're gonna jump or walk to our right, then jump to the left. Go ahead and squat, open up the knees, butterfly, twisting to the right. We're gonna go ahead and swing the right leg a couple times. Maybe finding the lift. There's just all sorts of ways to play here. Again, if you want to make it fancy, you can find little twists. And now let's go ahead and continue. We're going to swing the right leg. And then take the momentum to the left to find the floating all fours. Keep the rotation happening. Lift the left leg and the left arm. Find the flat top bridge. Pick up the left leg. Sit it down. Tuck the right leg under. Left leg over. Inhale the arms up. And go ahead and find your left side seated twist. Beautiful. Let's do this one more time in a fluid form so we can see how this would work without the pauses. And I won't talk through this. Maybe you can just look at it first and then you'll pause and play. So as you can see, once I break it down, I start to use the momentum to help me find a balance point that I can move through. This is the unconventional balance. And dancers use this all the time when they're spinning. They kind of just follow the movement. That's basically what it is. Now it's your turn. Go ahead and pause the video, play, try section 2, and then we'll come back and put 1 and 2 together. Quick review here, putting 1 and 2 together, right and left side. Let's just get right to it. Take an inhale, take an exhale, let it all go, starting from this place. One more on your own. Here we go, jump to the right,
hip flow, left, hip flow, front, wave and fold. Tap the right toes to the right wrist, make the bridge, step it back, pyramid flow, warrior three fly, standing splits, tap the right foot, find the bridge one more time before you settle back into the right leg at Anjaneyasana, half split flow. Take your time. When we're ready, front leg carries back. Find the vinyasa. Take a breath in the down dog. Jump or walk to left, to the right. Butterfly twist. Swing a couple times. Next time we go ahead and take the bridge spin. That's what I'm calling it now. Good. Right leg comes up. Tucks under. Seated twist to the right. Beautiful. Rising all the way up. Taking a couple breaths as we move on to the left side. Here we go. We jump to the left, jump to the right, jump center, fold. Bridge tap left, pyramid play. Warrior three fly. Standing splits. Tap bridge. Step the left leg between the hands, the right leg steps back. All right, we find the Anjaneyasana, half split flow. Front leg carries back. Find your way to find the down dog. Try it different every time. Don't get stuck with one idea. We like to keep the body and the mind adaptable. Here we go. Jump right to left. I'll find you in the butterfly twist. Go ahead and swing flow. Find that a couple times. Good. Okay, left leg out. Go ahead and find your bridge spin. Pick up the left leg, sit it down, and twist it to the left. By the way, you can do this with both legs bent, or you can extend the bottom leg if that feels better for you. Beautiful. Pause, play, put that in your body memory. Come back and we will continue on to section 3. Part 3, we ended up in the seated twist. Right side, so right leg is over, left leg is under, and I'm twisting towards my right. Now we're gonna unwrap ourselves to the left, take a spin as you rise. Just keep the feet exactly how they are. Take the hands over to the left side, tuck this toe under because you're gonna need it as you start to pivot all the way around to the left, and you're gonna end up kind of like this, or like this, or like this. Again, these are unconventional balance points. You'll notice that your feet will adjust if you stay aware of what's going on. So, boom, boom. I notice that I have to kind of adjust and adjust and adjust and adjust. This is what I love about spins. Whenever you pivot, you spin, you always have to be adjusting what's happening underneath with the soles of your feet. So this is kind of what I want you to observe on your own as you practice this. Notice how you have to pivot, how you have to shift, where you have to step to end up in this position. So a nice standing rounded position with the left leg front and the right leg back. Now, we're going to take the back leg, the right leg, and wrap it all the way around into Garudasana, eagle pose. So I'm going to transition the weight to my front leg, which is my left leg, okay? My back leg, the right leg, is going to wrap all the way around, travel as high or low as that leg wants to go. And then I'm going to wrap into eagle pose, so you'll notice that my right toes are tucked back behind my shin. I sit deep into my chair, I lift my chest, and here I am, I'm wrapped. I can wrap my arms, I can do a prayer, I can do whatever I want to fancy this up. Now, Garudasana, eagle pose, is a tricky pose. So if you can't wrap, no worries. You ended up with the left leg front, right leg back. Maybe just kind of swooshes on the floor. The right leg tucks over the left, and you just bend into the knees and find a little dip. This feels great in my left hip. And you just find this position right here. If you want to make this a little bit more difficult, let the leg rondejump from back to front in a very high position. So you're actually going to carry it all the way back, all the way front, until it wraps. A lot of balancing going on here. And find the eagle pose. Now, you want to try to keep your knees facing forward. So they're going to want to kind of swoosh over to the left, but kind of pull them to the right, but not at all cost. If you find a lot of pressure in your knee and the meniscus on the inside of your knee, then you're pushing too much. So just, it's okay. Let them travel to the left. Nothing's going to happen. Or maybe even unwrap and then find that frontal position without the wrap underneath. Your choice, your body, your life. Before we continue on, let's just do all that on the left side because this is quite tricky stuff, especially with balancing. So we find the seated twist to the left, which means the left leg is over, right leg is under. I'm twisting to my left, okay? I'm going to unwrap towards the right. I'm going to find all the changes I need in my feet to be standing nice and strong with my right foot front, left foot back. Feet are staggered to find more balance. Back leg, left leg is carrying all the way around until it wraps into eagle pose once again. Okay, now this is where unconventional balance takes it to a whole new level. I'm going to show it to you first, okay? So we're in Garudasana. Leg is going to unwrap. And then I find myself on facing the other side of my mat. Let's break this down, shall we? Right leg is wrapped over the left. It's going to unwrap. This front leg, whichever leg it is going to unwrap. It's going to carry all the way around. And once I feel the momentum of that back foot kind of taking me to the other side of the mat, I'm going to pivot on my bottom foot. I'm going to use the momentum to get me there. Now what's important, right? You notice a lot of things are readjusting themselves. My hips are finding the front of the mat, which is now going to be over here. My focus is finding the front of the mat, so I'm immediately doing this, and my shoulders are finding the front of the mat. So wherever these 3 points go is where I'm going to go. For example, if I wanted to finish over facing you, then I would do the same, but I would look that way. And there I can find my spot. In dance, we call this finding a spot. But remember, hips, shoulders, face, eyeballs, all have to go to the point you want to end up on. And it has to happen in one shot in order to find that balance. This is what I love about unconventional balance too, is that it leaves no room for error, no room for pausing, no room for hesitation. It's a one-shot deal, okay? Now the other thing that has to happen is that I have to pivot somehow, either on my heel or the ball on my foot. I like to play with both because I think that creatively they're just both really, really interesting, right? So I can't pivot on a flat foot. It's impossible. And we need the foot to rotate because if not, it's going to rip out your knee. So be sure to come up high on the toes and spin. Actually use the spin. Yeah, and push those hips around. Just try it a couple times. That was the left side. Try the other side, right? And the other thing, you guys, is that you can use your hands to help you. Your arms are there to help you rotate. Try that a couple times on your own. See where we get. Let me try one more time here. Boom. Yes. All right, we got that. That was a lot. So once we end up in this kind of short pyramid position, we're going to head and use the momentum and the leverage that we're getting to kind of dance it back and forth, just to regain our sense of center. So I know that my pubis is my center. There it is, and I'm floating within it. Then I'm going to take the front leg. So right now I just did the right side, so my right leg is forward. So if I'm on my left side, my left leg will land forward, okay? I'm going to take my front leg and then swoosh it back. Once again, as if I'm going into warrior 3, remember that T stance, but this time we're going to add a twist, and we're going to bend both legs into a double stag shape. Boom. Okay, so my right hand is going to go down. I'm going to twist towards my left, and I'm going to find this strange little double stag twist standing balance shape. This is a super tricky shape to balance in because you have a twist happening, you have to change your focus, and that makes it much more difficult. So if you're gonna look up, that makes it more advanced. To make it a little bit easier, set the right hand down, look down, and just find the twist in the shoulders. Either way though, it's gonna be a lot trickier because your hips are in this awkward position. Unconventional balance, we had to do it. From the twist, you're gonna rise back up. This is all balance. The back leg, the right leg is gonna carry all the way back around, and then you're gonna lower down to this position. I know that was a lot, so we'll review nice and slow. Left side, left leg up, right leg down, twisting to the left in my seated twist. I unwrap to my right. I end up standing with my legs split into a pyramid kind of stance. Right leg front, left leg back. Shifting the weight forward onto the front leg, the back leg ronde-jambs and wraps all the way around into our eagle pose. I unwrap the leg, turn on the outside towards the left, and I finish in this wide stance with my left leg forward and my right leg back. I shift back and forth a couple times, then take the weight to the back leg. Front leg carries all the way back as I start to dip into what seems to be a warrior three, but instead I bend my front knee as I bend my back knee and twist towards the right. Right arm is up, left arm is down. Maybe I even find a balance here. Standing back up on the right leg as my standing leg. Back leg, left leg carries all the way back around. I can lower, or I can do a knee to nose, or I can simply just find a balance as I go all the way down. To make it a little bit easier, maybe I use my hands. I finish with my left leg long and my right leg bent. This part is no joke. It's really tough, so just take your time, go slow, moment to moment, and see what little bits you can fix along the way. Let's just do this a little bit more fluid on the right side. So I'm in a right seated twist, which means the right leg is over, left leg is under, twisted towards my right. I unwrap towards the left. Immediately back leg wraps around. Eagle, unwrap, turn towards the right. Floating back and forth a bit. Front leg travels back. Twisting right hand down, left hand up. Back leg, right leg travels all the way back around. I find a little balance here however I want. And then I lower all the way down to the floor. I end up with my right leg long, my left leg bent. Now, one more thing I would like to share with you is an easier version of this because, as I said, this is quite difficult. So let me show you that. Here I am in my seated twist. I'm going to go ahead and use my hands to help myself up. I'm going to readjust my foot. When I find that I'm in a nice standing pose, take my weight forward and the back leg is just going to carry on the floor. I'm going to find just a stance here with my feet both settled onto the floor. I'm going to unwrap, step the right foot back, and then just spin with both feet on the floor. So the difference here is that you're just using both feet on the floor to find the balance, which can still be tough. Rock back and forth a bit. Front leg carries back. Maybe I leave both feet on the floor as I find a twist, like so, with everything on the floor, but I'm still very activated. I rise back up. I let the leg carry around, and then I bend and sit down. So as you can see, it's still totally doable. I don't want you to give up. I want you to find a way through this. And so this is a great option. You're still getting all the benefits, even though the shapes look different. It's still all there. You want to maintain the activation. That's the practice. And also maintain the focus, awareness. That's the practice. All right, lots of work to do here. Go ahead and pause the video. Try part 3. Put it in your body. We'll come back and then put 1, 2, and 3 together. Putting sections 1, 2, and 3 together. Quick review. Right side, let's go right into it. 2 breaths. Inhale. And exhale, let it go with sound. 1 more. Starting from this point, inhale.
Exhale. All right, jump to the right, tap, flow, left, tap, flow, center, tap, flow, fold. Right toes, tap bridge, pyramid flow. Warrior 3 fly, standing splits, tap right toes, Unconventional, half split flow. Right leg travels all the way back. Find your vinyasa. I'll meet you in the down dog. Let's just take a breath in the down dog. Jump left, right. I'll meet you in the twisted butterfly. Play in your butterfly. Here we go. We swing the right leg. We turn towards the right side, finding the all fours, finding the tabletop. Right leg rises. Seated twist to the right. Take a moment here to recoup. Good. Unwinding towards the left. Right away, back leg wraps into eagle pose. Unwraps, spins. Right leg is forward, left leg is back. I shift and play. Good. Right leg travels back. Twisted, funky, warrior 3. Leg either comes through, forward, or around. Find a balance however you wish. And then slowly lower down to the floor. Right leg is long, left leg is bent. Did you get there? Woo! Good. Standing up. Let's take a couple breaths and do the left side. Should start feeling more natural in your body now, or at least your body memory is starting to pick up on it. Final breath. Here we go. We jump left. You know the deal. Fold. Tap the left toes, find the pyramid. Keep that push going. Don't get lazy on the push. Now, what Coach always said, it only matters once you get tired, and it's true. That's when you start to grow. When you're still doing it effectively and detailed, when you're tired. Pick up that back leg. Let's fly. Standing splits. Beautiful. Tap it. Anjaneyasana. Half split flow. Stay with it. Stay with the breath. Let the breath help you through this. Go ahead and bring that back leg or the front leg back. Find your way to vinyasa. You can always do it differently. And meet me in the down dog. Let's take a breath. Good. Travel left. Travel right. Seated twist. Let's play in our butterfly. Sorry, seated butterfly with a twist. Bet you knew that, right? You should. All right. Go ahead and wind it up. Go ahead and find that bridge spin. Left leg up. Sit it down. Left seated twist. Unwind it. Step the right leg forward. Continue. Wrap the left leg around. Spin it. Good. Play with the shift. Okay. Front leg, left leg travels back. Funky balance twist. Bring the back leg around. Find your balance of choice. And lower it all the way down. Whew. You know the deal. Pause and play. Come back and we'll finish this baby. Final chapter to the unconventional balance Yogance. So we finished on the right side with the right leg long and the left leg bent. We're going to spin to our right side since we're on the right side. Now this is pretty simple here, though it might get complex in your brain, so don't go to the brain, stay in the body. The bent leg will stay bent, I suggest you kind of open up the bend a little bit, because if it's like this, it's going to be a little bit harder to transition. Again, we're always adjusting a new balance point, right? So I elongate my bend leg just a little bit. This leg, the left leg, the bent leg, is going to be the supporting leg. The long leg, the right leg, is the leg that's going to fly, okay? I'm going to twist towards my right side. Supporting leg, bent leg, left leg is going to stay on the floor. Twisting towards my right. The right leg is going to come through as I pivot on the left leg. Right leg ends up high, and I'm in a three-legged down dog. From there, the top leg, right leg comes through. Between my hands, I find a high lunge as I lift my chest. Right hip back. Remember, everything is still lifted and really planted into the floor. I find my center for balance. I settle my back heel down as the outer edge of my foot pushes away from me into a warrior two. Really bending in, lifting through my upper body and the torso. The pelvic floor area is nice and tight and available to me to find the center of my body, my balance point. Here I can play with a reverse warrior or just simply settle into this movement. I rotate my right toes parallel or inwards, so I'm now in this wide stance. As I do that, my hips follow. I find a circle through my hips. I do the same thing as I rotate to the other side. So now I'm standing on my left leg. So this is my left leg, this is my back leg is now my right. I go ahead and shift my weight forward onto my left leg. My right leg is long, and I lift cambre, which just means to lift the heart space in ballet. And then I just do my little jig dance, whatever that is for you, back into a standing position, ready to move on to the other side. Isn't that beautiful how that worked? All right, let's try the left side. So if you'll remember, we finished seated. The left leg was long, the right leg was bent. Okay, remember to extend the right leg a little bit even, but keep it bent because the bent leg is your supporting leg. I'm going to twist towards my left, since it's the left side. Left leg is going to tuck right under. I'm going to pivot on my right foot and find the three-legged down dog. Left leg is up, right leg is down. Thank goodness we only have two legs. That's all I have to say. Left leg comes through the hands. Left-legged high lunge. Find that balance point. Put that heel down as you pivot on that back foot. Everything feels solid and good. Rotate the left foot in. Start to move the hips circling towards the left or the right, however you feel this in your body. And then turn it around. Now I'm on my right leg. I transfer my weight onto it. Left leg, back leg is long. Cambre, lift the heart. Exhale as you do that. And then do your little jig before you come back to your original position. Let's just do that one more time. A little bit smoother so we can start to see how this flows. So right side, right leg long, left leg bent. Spinning to the right, three-legged down dog. Bring it through, high lunge. Right into warrior two. Rotate the foot, rotate the pelvis. Come onto the left leg, lift the heart. Do your jig. Back to standing. One more time, other side. A little bit smoother, left leg long, right leg bent. This is left side, so I'm twisting to the left. Left leg comes under and up. Three-legged down dog. You saw how I had to take that little jump to adjust. This is what I'm talking about. Step it through. High lunge. Warrior two. Do whatever you want in the warrior two. Play a little bit when you're ready. Go ahead and move the hips as you rotate the feet. Come onto the front leg. Lift the heart. Do your jig. And find your Tadasana. Pause, play, and then finally we have the whole puzzle put together and we're going to flow through all four parts. Boom, boom, boom! Let's put all the pieces together nice and slow. And then I'm going to show you my version of this Yogance, because we are going to have our own versions of our Yogance, because we are all beautifully us. And that means that we're going to move different through stuff, we're going to breathe through it differently, and we're going to express ourselves through it differently. And that's the beauty of dance, of movement, of self-expression. And I want to see that. So please record yourself. Post it on Instagram, tag @Kuchera, because I want to see it and I want to share it with the world. I want people to see your beauty. And that's it. Let's start from the beginning, shall we? Nice and slow on the right side, just to do a final review. 2 breaths. All right, we jump to the right, hip flow. Jump to the left, hip wave. Jump center, wave fold. Tap right with the bridge tunnel, pyramid flow, warrior 3 fly, take your time, standing splits, tap, right-legged low lunge with a half split flow. Oh yeah, this is starting to feel really good. This was a toughie this week. Okay, carry the front leg back, find your vinyasa. Down dog, take a breath. Jump to the left, jump to the right. Twisted butterfly. Play with the butterfly. Okay, we're going to swing the right leg and then carry the bridge. Turn to the right. Right leg up. Twist it. Unwind towards the left. Right away, right into ego pose. Unwind, spin to the back of the mat. Beautiful. Shifting the weight. Front leg carries back. Twisted, funky warrior 3. Back leg carries around. We lower to the floor. Spinning towards our right because it's the right side. Right leg up to the sky. Inhale. Right leg swoops through. High lunge. Warrior 2. Rotate to the other side as the hips wind. Take the weight to the front leg, lift the heart. And little jig. Let's go ahead and take a couple breaths and just review the left side really quickly. Shaking it out. All right, jumping left. Jumping right, jumping center, fold, tap left, pyramid flow, fly, warrior 3, standing splits, tap, flow, half splits, low lunge, front leg travels back, vinyasa. Take a breath. Whew. We're going to jump right, jump left. Seated butterfly, play. Okay. Swing that left leg. Go ahead and continue the bridge. Turn to the left. Pick up the left leg once you land. Seated twist to the left. Unwind to the right. Right away. Back leg, left leg wraps, Garudasana. Unwraps to the back of the mat. Shift the weight. Front leg carries back. Twisted funky warrior 3. Left leg winds all the way around. We lower to the ground. Lengthen the right leg, the bent leg, the supporting leg. Go ahead and turn it around. 3-legged. Down dog, step it through, high lunge, warrior 2, turn it around to the other side, lift the heart, jig, and now let's get creative. Here's my flow.